Hello everyone, welcome to the Smashi Sports Show in the studio today, not on the couch. We have that studio busy, so we're doing the show on this area. But this is Abdul Majid Awan. I have with me
Joshi.
Parth Joshi, a Barca fan, which I think he wears it as a medal and I don't. Today is Friday, June 20th. Club World Cup is going on. There's so much happening in the Club World Cup, and we're going to discuss all of them. Just to tell you, Al Hilal did a draw against Real Madrid.
Very thrilling game. I think,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, for sure, it was the best game of the Club World
Yeah,
Cup
to
so
be
far.
honest, right? And
Very
I'm from a
thrilling.
Middle Eastern team, from an Arab team. I think this has sent a benchmark, like, try to
For
beat
sure,
this.
For sure. They were very dominant.
Yeah.
Very dominant. And obviously, they equalized just at the start of second half, at the 42nd minute, at the 47th minute, sorry. But Yassine Bonu,
The hero of the
the
match.
highlight of the game, the star of,
Yeah.
of the match, he was incredible, man. I mean, 92nd minute, the pressure's on.
Yeah.
Saving Valverde's penalty just like that, And
I was sad for Valverde because I was telling Parth Valverde is one of the players I like, and he's like a very nice character. The backstory is such great. He's like an inspirational player. Very rarely now you see players coming from such backgrounds because it's become so institutionalized that everyone comes through under 12, under 11, and they
Exactly.
come
From like the academy or
yeah.
some.
So seeing a like hardcore, very rough diamond and then being brought into Real
Exactly.
Madrid and then being polished into. But yeah, Yassine Bono, more heart to him, more brain to him. But the penalty save was, the penalty was not taken very nicely. To be honest,
It wasn't like a Valverde, classic
Yeah.
shot, but like
Yeah.
it's a penalty save in the
yeah,
92nd
it's a
minute. I
penalty
mean,
save at the end.
you have to give him credit.
again, no deflections went in. No one could just jump.
He
in
also
and-
made a very good save from a
Yeah.
header from a corner as well,
Yeah.
just keeping it off the line. So I think put them in the game, and Al Hilal can proudly take away this draw. I mean, because
to be honest, it's a win. For me, it's a very big win. Because the next story that we talk about, you'll know why we're calling it a win. Because playing against Real Madrid, Spanish giants, they've won Champions League like 10 times, 11. Like
15.
15 times? 15. Oh yeah, they've crossed the 10 mark. I stopped counting because why? Why would you count? They'll win it. Our referee like
don't
100.
make me say the Champions League facts, please. Let's move on from that topic.
But yeah, so just one of the good things, Al Ahly also played a good match against Inter Miami.
In the
very
first game of the
first
season,
game.
it was a draw.
Yeah,
but
it
I
was
think this
also-
one, the magnitude is just completely
Yeah,
different.
because that's Inter Milan.
Because Real Madrid, if you
Inter
ask
Miami, sorry.
a lot of people, they are the favorites, like the outright favorites to win this Club World Cup. And I think at least this first game could also like put some sort of momentum for Al Hilal.
Yeah, and also it puts a stamp of authority on the Saudi Pro League.
Exactly,
To
yeah,
be
yeah.
honest, you have to say that after all the flashy things that we've seen happen at Saudi Pro League, Ronaldo coming, Benzema coming, Neymar coming. Obviously, Neymar didn't play a lot, but all the flashy players coming, and everyone was saying just they're just throwing money on stars,
exactly.
and they're not throwing money on actual football that you have to play. But now you see results with Al Hilal doing. See, with Al Ahly, to be honest, to an extent it was expected because Egyptian football has a long history,
Yeah,
and a lot of their clubs, I know because of discussions with Hisham, that they play very good football.
Yeah, for sure.
Whatever Hisham always said was that corruption and all these things never let Egyptian football grow. But very systematic, very nice investment into football we saw with Saudi Pro League. And we've seen the result that they've like stopped like literally Real Madrid from winning, saving a penalty.
It puts an emphasis on the point that they're not just here to participate; they are here to win the tournament.
Yeah.
And I mean, from one club to another. I mean, I'm just giving this as a point. Even Alain's player had said that they're ready to do the impossible. Nothing is impossible. So I think it puts an emphasis that Arab teams are here to try and win the trophy. Just because it's Real Madrid doesn't mean that you just
You will just sit
let
back.
go of the first.
Yeah. Some look at the stats, very interesting. All the stats tilt towards Real Madrid. 19 shots on target, 13 by Al Hilal. Shots on target, 2 and 7. So yeah, Bono had a busy day. Possession was 52-48, passes 498, 469, so more passes made. Pass accuracy was 90%, 84%. But main things that I'm seeing here is that 19 shots, 13 shots, like overall, but 7 on target. They scored only once. and 1 out of those 7 was saved by
in
Bono
the
himself.
92nd minute by Bono.
Like clutch moment, best. Like, and Bono is famous for it. Like,
Oh,
Bono
for
is
sure,
very
for sure. He is
a
like a very,
character.
very, very established
Yeah.
goalkeeper. You know, I mean, and I think he would know because he's played in La Liga before with
Yeah.
Sevilla.
So he would have an idea.
He would have a bit of an idea. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like the good news coming out of Club World Cup. Let's move on to a little sadder news. It's not a bad news, it's just a little sad. So we're, to be honest, rooting for the 5 Arab teams.
For sure.
Majorly. And he's also rooting for them because Barcelona is not playing.
Did not have to add that.
They were not up to the standard to play at a big event. I think.
Where's Liverpool?
Oh yeah, Liverpool also. Yeah,
He used to be a United fan. Just saying, he used to be a United fan, and then he switched. To
I'm a
Liverpool.
very proud plastic fan turned from Manchester United to Liverpool. But again, I think we were discussing this, that why is Barcelona not there? Why is Liverpool not there?
Exactly.
Manchester United, you can forget about it now. But like big clubs who've won leagues and who've done great things. And he was telling me there was a coefficient and there was a whole process to select them. And somehow Barcelona was opted out. Like, it could have been one of the bigger teams. It could have been a marketing property for them.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
Barcelona is
you
not
know,
there.
even Barca being out, but then there's also the thing that Inter Miami, like, there's a lot of controversy there in the tournament simply because they're hosting it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that happened
Yeah.
with all World Cup hosts, I think. Qatar, Saudi Arabia, all of these, the next ones. USA to an extent, the next
the
one.
actual World Cup, I feel it makes sense because they are the host
Yeah.
nation, but like this is just a club World Cup which has just started.
They
And
shouldn't have done
I
it.
think they've just done it to give a bit of emphasis to like US hosting the World Cup next time.
Yeah. And also, like, give some importance to MLS. Like, okay,
Yeah.
Major League.
Because like if
Happens, we
Messi,
have a
Messi
team.
will bring you money if no one brings you
And
money.
I think
for
they
sure.
tried to bring Ronaldo for that matter also because it's like their last hurrahs, their last
Yeah.
final dances.
We'll get into that topic.
Yeah, we'll talk about Ronaldo, but yeah, that happened. But Al Hilal 1-1 draw, very good. Secondly, another team played from the Arab region, UAE's Al-Ain, and they lost 5-0 to Juventus. It's I think it's not a sad story or it's not a big defeat as per se. I would call it a lesson that
For sure. Yeah,
like
easily, yeah.
neighbors Saudi Arabia doing good, neighbors Egypt doing good. UAE
yeah.
teams need to step up. They need to invest more either in players,
if
facilities.
you're saying nothing is impossible, I think you could work on that.
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
And Alain 5-0, 2 braces. We were looking at the players.
2 braces from Randall Kolomoani
Yeah.
and also Coen Xiao. And yeah.
But the funny thing, I was just looking up the story, and it was a very young team by Juventus. They didn't
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 good players, but they played a very young team.
And seeing you know
So you
teams
can't
from,
even say like prime Juventus was
no
playing.
because seeing I mean it's a shift in Italian football where we're seeing
Yeah.
teams field a bit older players, like for example
Yeah.
Inter Milan,
Yeah.
and now you have Juventus fielding younger players and new
Yeah.
squad. So I think that's a change in a good direction.
But sad for UAE, but they have still a chance. That was their first match. Alain played one. They will play another one. We'll
Quite a
talk about
couple
it.
of games to go. For
Yeah,
sure.
but at least see, I think not everyone or not 5 of them will win, but at least leave a mark. Play a draw, give a competition, score a miraculous goal, do something different that you get the spotlight for that one moment.
Like the
and
perfect-
that's a win for you.
The perfect example that comes to mind is Saudi Arabia in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Like that's
Exactly.
That's like if they can somehow top that, then brilliant.
Yeah.
So
That's the Club World Cup updates. A lot of matches for the Arab teams specifically are coming up. Let me pull up the list quickly. So we have the next match from the Arab region, Tunisia. ES Tunis is playing. They're playing Friday night and Saturday morning, so it's like 2 a.m. UAE time specifically. But you can look up the schedule and see what's happening. Apart from that, on Sunday night and Monday morning, so 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. Monday morning basically, 2 of the Arab teams are playing. One is Al Hilal. Sorry.
also
Al-Hilal.
on
I missed.
22nd
Yeah, Al Hilal.
June we have Juventus versus I think it's Wydad.
Yeah, Wydad.
Yes.
These are the international
Which
ones.
is 8 p.m.
Yeah.
UAE time.
So Alain, they lost 5-0 to Juventus. Now they face Manchester City, and we'll see
just-
what happens.
It just doesn't get easier.
Yeah, it's a very difficult group to be honest. Juventus Man City is a good
again,
group.
Again, it's football. Anything could happen.
Yeah.
giving City's form this season.
Yeah.
And I mean, speaking of Man City, yes, they did beat Wydad 2-0 yesterday.
Yeah.
Phil Foden finally scoring a goal, getting getting a bit back on track. Doku also was able to score a goal. But let's see what Alain can do against Man City.
Maybe they'll learn a lot from the 5-0 defeat, and at least even if they're losing, they won't have this big of a margin, not a one-sided contest.
Yeah.
Good experience to go and play against the Giants. It's very nice.
Just competing,
Yeah, just competing.
competing.
And
Like, don't give them an easy time. Do not let, because if City starts getting in game flow, then
then
pass,
there's no
pass,
stopping.
pass. Just sit back behind. Just annoy Pep. Make sure he
Park
drinks.
the bus, as Mourinho says. Park the bus.
Make Pep finish all his water bottles, as he always does when he's losing. Just keep doing that for sure.
And Al Hilal and Salzburg is also on the same time. So Al Hilal, RB Salzburg is 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. is Al and Manchester City. A lot of action coming up in this Club World Cup. Again, just before we move out of the Club World Cup and move into another story, I still think that still there is no shouting or social media stuff happening about it.
Yeah.
People are not talking about it. I don't know what they can do better. I think when the
I
knockout
feel-
phases come, it can become better.
I think it's when the finals start coming
Yeah.
up, but I think it's like late into the finals. I think it's when like the semi-finals and the
Yeah.
final.
But
Because
they need to do something.
we've seen yesterday that there were stadiums which only had about 100 fans. But again, for bigger teams like Real Madrid, they had a lot of fans. So like I think it's just to do with teams, the fixtures. I mean, in the US, it's on a weekday.
Exactly same second names. So yeah, a little complicated. But yes, that person has been sacked, and I don't know what will happen next. He sued the club. He says it was unprofessional the way he was asked to leave.
He put out a statement on X
Yeah.
saying that he will be suing the club and he will be taking legal action against Al Nassr.
So I don't know what will happen. We don't know what will happen, but I think the whole talk about Al Nassr the last season, since the last game, has been will Ronaldo stay, will Ronaldo not stay, and I think they're missing the point here that yes, Ronaldo is your star
but
player.
Al Nassr is like the
He's
club.
your poster boy, but
Exactly.
you have to take care of the club as well. There's
Because if
business
there's no Al
dealings.
Nassr, Ronaldo is
Yeah.
not going to be playing. So like
So let's see. Al Nassr are in quite of a quandary. They thought they'll bring Ronaldo and well the title. They haven't won a title. They finished second, third. Ronaldo has won obviously twice the Golden Boot with the scoring, but that's Ronaldo doing what Ronaldo does. You need support systems for him, with him.
I mean, they have got new signings like Jean Duran and all, but I think they need to step up a bit more.
Yeah, and not rely on Ronaldo only. Rely on other players also. There's like 10 other players who play the match. But Majid Jaman Al Surur, that's the name of the CEO. Specifically, his exact words, quoting them: "Today, my services were terminated in a manner that I consider you'll have CEO clashes, coach clashes." Or you see in EPL.
It's about how you handle it.
Yeah.
And I think if it's the required decision, then they need to take a good step. Because it's better than letting it being dragged down and then having another news piece that this is going on, that's going on.
That's how the Pro League is down, because one CEO was fired.
And
the
then,
Western
and then
media
some
will take
blame
it
might
like
come
this.
on Ronaldo, oh, it's because of him.
He did it.
Exactly.
But yeah, the controversies will obviously fire up because Western media hates the Middle Eastern region. We've seen that through every kind of news, and even with sports, they call it sports washing. That's Saudi sports washing through Saudi Pro League. Qatar was sports washing through the World Cup. But when they came and they saw the actual World Cup, they're like, bro, this is a good country. This is a clean country.
There were a lot of
Safe
shouts
country.
for the best World Cup, best
Yeah,
organized
right.
World Cup and
So,
stuff.
and when people actually come, they see, but Western media tries its best to downplay it because they want their leagues and their stuff to be bigger. But yeah, at the end of the day, I think what matters is who plays good football. Al Hilal, Real Madrid played good football. Just on the topic of Ronaldo, Al Hilal chief basically. He also Guardiola. I've heard stories of him I've heard stories of him stopping the move of one player. Yeah, that also. But I don't like. I would never want them playing together. Maybe in a match where they're like it's an exhibition match and they're playing for the kids or some
Okay, no,
organization.
That's
I always want to see them fight on the field. Like,
You
bro, I'll nutmeg you, you nutmeg me.
You just want chaos.
Yeah, it's and football is chaos, but in a systematic
But if
11 on 11
I mean,
way.
see, there's even I'm going with in a very technical standpoint.
Yeah.
If they are going against each other, they won't be facing each other that much. At least 1v1.
Bro, you haven't Googled Ronaldo, Messi. Look at the pictures.
I have,
Even when they cross each other,
I've watched
right?
the games, but like that's only for like a maybe
like
10
microsecond, they cross each other.
Yeah.
There's like 1 million pictures
But
from
like,
1 million
but them
angles.
playing together would mean
Yeah.
that they literally do play together. Like
That would be
imagine
like
Messi
Ronaldo
feeding
making-
a through ball to Ronaldo, who's making a run.
And then Ronaldo coming back and hugging Messi and picking him up on his shoulder.
Let's wake up.
Yeah,
Let's
it's a
wake up.
dream. It's a pipe dream. Maybe. See, they'll get old and they play a lot of exhibition matches. That we know for sure. Maybe someday we'll see them. So thank you so much for joining us on this great Friday. We'll see you back on Monday with more results, more previews of the Club World Cup. We're trying to focus more on it because 5 Arab teams are playing there. So it's a very important event for us, for the Middle Eastern region, for Middle Eastern sports. Anyone who just comes out with a draw will be very happy.
I mean, Al Hilal's draw. I mean,
It's a victory for me.
there is a very good point to be made that, and I'm saying this with no bias, that it should not have been a penalty.
Yeah, that's also a controversy that's going on.
It's not
You
a
can tell us.
controversy. I think it should not have been a penalty. It's very soft, but
It's like the same
when it's Real Madrid and it goes to VAR, there's only one outcome.
penalty. He's a Barca fan.
I said
He's
with no-
allowed
I-
to
I
say
said-
this.
I said it with no bias. With no bias.
He is a Barca fan. He's allowed to say that they buy referees. That's a whole discussion. We'll
You
do
said,
that someday.
did I say they buy referees? I didn't say it. You said it.
A lot of clubs are actually famous for it, right?
No.
And some of them are literally like, it's not even like buying, it's just the referees who have so much pressure on them.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
sometimes,
yeah,
to be
exactly.
honest, the decision is not because it actually happened. The decision is there's a home crowd behind me
I know
and
that.
they'll kill me if I don't give a penalty or I give a penalty. So it's that also,
but
right?
with Madrid, it happens
A
everywhere.
lot, right? A lot.
The league president is a Madrid fan.
Oh, yeah.
The referees are Madrid fans.
Yeah. They're humans at the end
Spanish
of the day.
football president is a Madrid fan.
Madrid fan.
Just
So
saying.
it happens.
No bias. No bias at all from
I
my
think
side.
it's just human, and I love this part in sports that you should have this human touch always there.
but then-
Goal line, referees,
I
VAR.
understand human touch, but why is the touch always with Madrid? Like, why do they only touch Madrid?
Because they have a lot of money, because they've won a lot of champions.
That's a topic for another day.
Yeah,
You
we'll
know,
discuss this someday else when we discuss referees in detail. But thank you so much for joining us on Smashi Sports. You can watch UAE's handball matches. We're the official sponsors of the UAE football team, football team, producer. I'm just testing my producer quickly because I think they're not listening to us. Just kidding. But we're the official sponsors of the UAE football team, basketball team. I'm still confused. No, I'm just kidding. We're the official sponsors of the basketball team, UAE basketball national team. If you want to know anything about Middle Eastern sports, follow us on social media. Parth will bring you all the great news, everything to the point at the perfect moment.
with no bias.
Yeah, with no bias. Only if there's Barcelona involved, maybe some bias, but otherwise, no. Thank you so much. Have a great day. See you on Monday.
See you.